Good morning, guys. My name is Nick Blanchard, and I'm gonna talk to you today about my internship experience and my special project presentation. You can see on the right, I had my internship at the sport complex called Olympica, and they'll also have a wellness, and it's a hotel too. They have a lot of sports there, bowling, badminton. They have a fitness center, and also have 4 tennis courts. And their goal would be to open up a new tennis country club next year. So my main goal for this special project was to create a yearly tennis budget for next year. So come up with approximations and try to see how much it would cost for to open up a new tennis country club. So in order to obtain this goal, I had a couple objectives during these 5 weeks of internship. The first was to create a membership fee that is approved by my supervisor after the end of these 5 weeks. I also had to create some summer tennis camps with plans, prices that are again approved by my supervisor. I also had to create a coach's compensation and their salary and see how much we would have to spend for their salary for an entire year. I also had to look at the tennis costs, how much it would cost for tennis balls and tennis rackets and a lot of other things for the entire year. I also had to look at potential sponsor and see how much we would get from sponsors. I also had to create a weekly tennis schedule with all different group ages and levels, as well as office hours, private lessons, and also workout hours. So it was a lot of work to be done because I had to come with an approximation about how many people we would get for the first year. So I did a lot of surveys, sent a lot of emails to potential clients. I talked with a lot of current clients that are already coming to the sport complex they are coming to the wellness, to the fitness center, to play badminton. I also went to the city to ask some people around if they would be interested to get some tennis lessons next year. So in order to create those membership fees and tennis tennis camp prices, and also in order to know how much we would pay a coach, I had to make a lot of phone calls, make a lot of research about how much coaches are paid in Switzerland. Also had to look at other websites about other tennis country club and see how much their membership prices would be. I also had to look at the region because obviously every region is different, the prices are different. So it was a lot of work. Something I forgot to mention is that the sport complex already have 4 tennis courts, but they're just renting the courts to some clients that just want to come to play and rent the courts for 1 hour, 2 hours. But they don't have any tennis coaches. They don't give any tennis lessons. So they want to open up this country club. And by the fact that some people are coming to just rent those tennis courts and play, I also asked a lot of these people too if they would be interested to get tennis lessons. And I realized that there's a lot of people coming to play with each other, and a lot of potential clients who would be interested to get tennis lessons. So there's really something to do there. Besides my special projects, I had also other goals for this internship, and one of those was to enhance my web design and marketing skills. Um, so I created some objectives during the internship in order to get to this goal, and I created a tennis country club logo that you can see on the top left corner. Also had to create marketing flyers for potential tennis camps next year and tennis lessons. You can see on the left the tennis camps and on the right those tennis lessons. And also had to work on the Facebook and Instagram page of the sport complex. So all these objectives helped me to obtain this goal, which was to enhance my marketing skills. Another goal toward my internship was to enhance my leadership skills. And in order to get to this goal, I had a couple objectives. First of all, I had to give some tennis lessons each day for 3 hours during the evenings in a tennis country club that's like 10 minutes away from the sport complex. And I believe that this helped me to get better at my leadership skills because I was the main coach and I had to give orders, explain to the kids what to do during practice, come up with my own tennis practices. Also had to work at the fitness center in at the sport complex. So I had to manage sometimes the whole fitness center. I had to assist and help clients if they needed help throughout their workouts, or also if they needed some practice plans for the next couple of weeks or month because of a tournament that's coming up. So I was also a personal trainer. You can see on the top right corner, I had to do some body composition for some clients, which helped me to which which helped me to get a plan, to create a plan for them for the next couple of months, thanks to these body compositions. So I believe that this really helped me a lot too, to enhance my leadership skills, because I was there to tell them what to do, what the plan would be, and assist them each time they needed. I also worked at the front desk at the sport complex. Um, and I believe that this also helped me to enhance my leadership skills, because I was there, I needed to assist and help clients as soon as they came in to I don't know, to come to the restaurant, or to pay for to come play badminton or tennis, or if they needed to go to the wellness center or to the fitness center, or if they needed to book a hotel reservation. So yeah, and also had some business meetings throughout the week with the main managers from the sport complex. Um, we were we're always discussing about the current issues that the sport complex has, especially now with the COVID-19 rules, but also about future projects that are coming up. And yeah, the main managers, they always let me talk during the business meetings, and I had the opportunity to give my own opinion about everything. I was kind of scared at the beginning, but after a couple of meetings, I believe it helped me to get better at my leadership skills too, because I got more comfortable to talk and to give my opinions, and they listened to me, and they were always they they agreed a lot of times about my opinion, and I believe I could help them a lot about what we could do for the success of the company in the future. I'm gonna explain you briefly how I created this yearly tennis budget. So first of all, I looked at the coach's compensation for an entire year. I had to make a lot of research for that, because obviously I didn't know how much we should pay a coach in Switzerland. So since I would be the only one next year, I just decided to put 45 Switzerland francs, because usually a coach in Switzerland is paid between 35 and $50. But since I already have a lot of experience in tennis, I believe that 45 Switzerland francs should be the right amount. I also had to split out a lot of different tennis lessons, because I didn't want to put kids that are 4 years old with kids that are 12 years old. I didn't want to put players that are really good at tennis with players that cannot even hit the ball. I also wanted to put adults together and not let them play with kids. So I came up with a lot of different practice lessons, and I obviously had to also came up with 35 weeks of tennis lessons a year, by looking at the school vacations that the kids would have and everything. So this was also a lot of research that I had to make and phone calls, and I came up with 35,000 Switzerland francs as a cost for an entire year for coach compensation. You can also see what the prices are for summer camps. Um, there again, I just did some calculations. If I would get paid 40 Switzerland francs per hour, um, yeah, I would get these prices, and yeah, it was a lot of work. I'm gonna talk about the membership fees and how much revenue it could potentially get for the tennis country club. So again, here you can see on the Excel sheet that I'm putting all the different tennis lessons. And I was approximately thinking that we would get up to 3 players per lessons. So I counted player one, two, three. I also added some players, some of the same players that would come to a second lesson, because some players might want to have 2 lessons per week. Um, so yeah, with all these approximations, I came up with a revenue for the whole summer of 22,000 Switzerland francs and 30,500 Switzerland francs for the winter. It's obviously a little bit more expensive for the winter, because we have to rent tennis courts that are inside, and it's more expensive because we have to pay for more things that we would have to pay for courts that are outside. I also give 20% off for second practice sessions, and I decided to give 10% off for elite players for their first practice sessions and 20 for their second session. And I also created a third sessions for free for them because they're elite players. The first thing I had to do for my special project was to obviously create some membership price and fees. And for that, I had to make a lot of research, phone calls, and look up on websites of other country clubs in the region about how much they would offer their tennis lessons, how much it would be for them, and with that, try to see a little bit since we would be a new tennis country club, maybe lower the price a little bit. So yeah, it was a lot of research to make. So I came up here with some numbers. Obviously, for the adults, it would be a little bit more expensive than for kids. And then if kids are paying for their practices for an entire year, they obviously I included active membership, so they could come and play it throughout the whole year whenever they want by themselves if they paid for the lessons. But for the adults, they would still need to pay a little bit more. I didn't really have student discounts because we don't really do that in Switzerland. And I just added some additional information about my ranking as a coach and yeah, to that tennis balls will be free, that they could bring their own tennis rackets if they have, but that we also have rackets for them if they need it. That they're gonna have one practice session per week, but if they want to have more practice sessions, they could just send me an email, and then I would see what I could do with them. 15 minutes time for the presentation. I'm not going to go into details about the numbers that I created, but you can see those on my e-portfolio on the website. But here on the left, you can see all the costs that are needed for tennis material. I had to make a lot of research about how much tennis ball would cost, how much tennis rackets would cost by going on tennis websites. Here on the right, you can see all the potential sponsors that would be interested to sponsor us next year. And also created a list of what they would get if they pay us some money, what they would get. So we would just add the company logo on doing some events and everything. Here you can see all the prices for tennis camps and the plan that I would do for them. So you can see the daily routine for kids camp, for juniors, and also for weekend camps. So I'm planning on having 5 camps per year, especially for the first year. We could add some more in the next couple of years, but only 5 for the first year. And here I'm explaining really well what they would do each hour and how much it would be, and what they would do throughout the day. You can see my overall budget for 2021, and you can see all the numbers that I already talked about before my presentation. And I came up with an expense of $89,000 for the entire year and a profit of $87,000 a year. So yeah, we're coming up with a loss of approximately 2,000 Switzerland francs, which is not too bad for the first year. Here's my weekly schedule. You can see it on my portfolio. I'm not going to go into details because I don't have much time. I created a list of tennis tournaments for my elite players. Long-term goals for the country club would be to increase the number of players of 10 players each year, starting with 30 to 40 players for the first year with the research I made. I also want to try to get 2 interclub teams for our second year and try to not have too much loss in the budget for the first 3 years. And for my long-term goals would be to increase, obviously, our numbers of camps and sponsors, but also our revenue each year, starting year 3. I also want to try to follow elite players for some tournaments. I also want to bring our first interclub team to the first league in Switzerland and change our tennis courts from green clay to hard courts. Project could be very helpful for the sport complex because it gives them a plan of the possible expenses and revenues for the new country club. It also helped them to increase the success of the company, but also to increase the number of potential clients within the sport complex. Because if there are new clients coming to get tennis lessons, they would potentially be interested to come eat at the restaurant, go to the wellness, or to the fitness center. And the sport complex want to hire me next year to start this tennis project if I'm interested. So it's very interesting. And I also want to promote tennis in the region and use these tennis courts that were not used that much. The experience was great. My objectives got approved by my supervisor and I reached my goals. I could also apply my theories into the real world, manage the stress and expectation from the manager within a short period of time, and I could also see that I'm good at marketing, but I need to be better in the finance area. This also helped me to realize that I'm able, I have the potential to create my own tennis academy and country club. Yeah, I could fulfill the wants and needs from the clients. Thank you.